Hi guys, and welcome to a new and the first video of 2024. So firstly, I want to wish you all a very happy new year. Hopefully everyone had an amazing Christmas, great holidays, and we are back. We are starting 2024 with a bang. Now obviously you might have noticed that my hair is curly and that's a little bit different. So as if you follow me on social media, you'll know that I was on holiday the entire last week of December. So I have rushed home and I have recorded this to get it out just in time for New Japan's biggest show of the year on January 4th, Wrestle Kingdom 18. Now, of course, I am here with a full preview. So basically the entire card has been posted on New Japan 1972. I assume it's also the order that it's going to be in. So I'm going to look at all the matches and what's been going on before it, my really wrong predictions, and maybe even if we have time, a little sneak onto what I think might be happening in the future. So yeah, it's probably, a lot of people said, one of the most exciting cards that they've seen. I've always loved these Wrestle Kingdom cards. So let's start from the beginning and let's get rolling. So as always, we start with a big Rambo in the pre-show. Now, this pre-show, you can miss it, but it is normally a lot of fun. Now, in the past, there used to be a Rambo for the Never Six-Man titles, but since the creation of the King of Pro Wrestling title back in 2020, I'm just going to say that, they now basically have a Rambo to see which final 4 people will be wrestling for the title on New Year's Dash. Now, remember, although Taichi holds the title and he is the 2023 King of Pro Wrestling champion, you are only a provisional champion until the end. So whoever gets a win, so the final 4 will meet at New Year's Dash, which is on January the 5th, and we will see who will start off the year as the King of Pro Wrestling provisional champion. Like I said, it's not going to be very serious. You'll have all the guys who are not on the main card. So shockingly, you'll have like Taichi will be on it because he's the champion. I assume so anyway. Suzuki, members of Hontai, and members of Empire who haven't done it, all the big factions, and you'll probably see Yujiro and Evil. So, like I said, if you want to get up early and watch it, do it. I always do, but it's up to you. We then start on the main card, and I think that starts at about 4:30. I'm not too sure. Double check your timings because you don't want to miss it and you want to be there early to, like, especially if you're watching with English commentary. The flood of traffic on New Japan World is crazy, and with the new app, I'm not sure how stable it's going to be. So, the start of the show actually, while I'm sad this is where the match is on the card, they'll start with a bang. It is the IWGP Junior Tag Championships match. And that is between the champions, so War Dogs, Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors, versus the Super Junior Tag League winners, so that is the Empires, Francesco Akira and TJP. Now going into this match, there was a lot. It was a lot of stuff, especially in Super Junior Tag League. TJP had this vendetta that he didn't even care about the titles. He just wants to like kill, I guess. I think that's what he said, the War Dogs, because the War Dogs have been causing chaos. However, unlike the other branch of House of Torture, a Bullet Club, Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney have actually worked really well together and have been a very decent team. And I think this is going to be an amazing match because there are so many different styles. So you've got the strength of Drilla Maloney, the power of Clark Connors, the veteran submission specialism of TJP, and that high-flying offense you expect from juniors in baby Francesco Akira. I say that because he's the youngest of the two. I don't see them getting too much time. They say the time limit is 60 minutes. It'll probably go about 20, as they usually do in these. And it is going to be fast-paced. It's going to be exciting. And I honestly, again, you know my predictions are never right, but I'm going to go for Catch 2-2 as the winners. I think when Catch 2-2 were tag champions, it was phenomenal. They are really cementing their place as the top of the junior division and the tag division. And especially with Ospreay leaving New Japan, TJP has, well, earlier he made some hints about the future of the Empire. What better way for someone like TJP, a veteran, to maybe take control of the Empire in Japan than holding the tag championships with Francesco Akira? So yeah, it's going to be an amazing match. We then have the New Japan World Television Championship match. Now, the champion, who has held it since its conception, last year on Wrestle Kingdom, Zack Sabre Jr. is defending it against Hiroshi Tanahashi, who is the new president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, this match is going to be great. So, whereas other ones are saying there's 60-minute, this is sticking to the New Japan Television Championship rules of 15 minutes. Now, we've seen Tanahashi and Zack fight many times, but never with such a strict time limit. I really think this is going to benefit Tanahashi, who we've noticed is not doing the best in terms of his body, so these quick matches are perfect. And I think that Tanahashi's determination to do so well and to still have a title match despite his body, I guess, failing, is going to make Zack sort of not trip up on his game, but he's going to want to taunt the ace. Because he said many times that he basically wants to retire Tanahashi. Now, because of this and what I think might be planned for Zack, I actually think that Tanahashi might win this. It means he can be double champ. He can keep doing title matches, but not without the strain on his body. And it also gives Zack Sabre Jr. the freedom, I guess, to go for the other titles, because 2023 has been the year of Zack and the television title. Let's push him to the top Gaikokujin of New Japan and give him bigger title opportunities. We then have, like every Wrestle Kingdom, some special matches that have got no title implications. But really, these guys were too important to be left off the main card and just be put in the Rambo. So the first one we have is a special singles match. So that is Yota Tsuji versus Yuya Uemura. Now, this is very important. So both Tsuji and Uemura were on the same level on their excursion days and their Young Lion days. Tsuji obviously came back with a much bigger pow by challenging Sanada for the title compared to Uemura. Tsuji has LIJ, Uemura has just 5 guys. These two, despite graduating and not being Young Lions anymore, have still got this feud, and that's something that we've seen throughout the years with past Young Lions. Most importantly, I can think of like Jay White and David Finlay. So this match, I guess, is their chance to prove themselves on a grand stage, to show whether all those years of training has worked and who is the superior returning Young Lion, because really they are both very similar in terms of they are both extremely diverse and talented, but will they manage to do it when it matters? And that is on the grandest stage at the Tokyo Dome. We then have a special singles match, which is again with 2 Young Lions. So it is Shota Umino and Ren Narita. So they were enemies. Then they became a tag team. Then Narita betrayed them. Oh, I didn't actually say. So for the last one, I actually think that Uemura might win. We're going with my heart there. We'll carry on. So Narita betrayed Shota Umino and went to House of Torture. One of the most heartbreaking moments of 2023, I can tell you. And so basically they have a special tag match. However, it's who they are teaming with that is very important. So, okay, you know what? You know I said Evil was going to be in the Rambo stuff there. So we're going to have to see Evil on the main card. He will be teaming with Ren Narita to represent House of Torture. However, the most important thing is Shota Umino is teaming with the ace of Kaito Kiyomiya. So we all know Kaito Kiyomiya has not had the best year in New Japan. He started off strong with his feud with Okada, then my good friend SP3 on True Heel Heat claimed that Kiyomiya had shit in Gedo's bag because his run in the G1 was awful. Yes, he has taken Oiwa under his wing to Noah, but nothing really else happened. This will be the perfect, I guess, spotlight for those 2 young wrestlers. Like, I honestly could not care about House of Torture. Narita dug his own grave. He can chill with Evil and Yuja on that. But I really am excited to see the team of Kiyomiya and Shota, and the fact we're going to see Kiyomiya on a Wrestle Kingdom card. I personally hope that this is a win for Kiyomiya and Shota. I don't know if I see Narita getting pinned by Shota. I see Kiyomiya maybe pinning Evil, just because we can still continue this feud. So I guess you could say that was the first half. We then get into the more, not important, but sort of maybe the more high caliber matches, the ones that maybe New Japan expect to bring more crowds in. So we start with the Never Openweight Championship match, and that is between champion Shingo Takagi and Tama Tonga. So these 2 are same age. They had amazing matches in the G1 and for this title, and this is sort of a rematch. Both men are very strong wrestlers. So Shingo is strong and fast. Tama is incredibly agile and fast, but also has a power that, while different to Shingo, is still very much lethal. And some people, I guess, underestimate him as just a tag wrestler. Now, some people were upset. They were like, we've seen this match time and time again, because as you might notice, especially in the latter matches, there are a lot of rematches. However, I really think that Tama Tonga and Shingo deserve a spotlight at Wrestle Kingdom. Tama specifically has always been in tag matches, and I think this is really his chance to shine. I personally, as much as I love Tama, do not think he's picking up the win. Shingo is never. He represents everything that title is about, and I would love to see him have a very long reign. And also, I'm kind of 10 out of 10 sick of them hot potatoing this title. It could have so much potential, so much prestige, if they just put some effort into it, if that makes sense. We then have the IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Titles. Now, this is between the champions Bishamon, Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto, who also won World Tag League, which meant they got to pick their opponents. And they chose strong Openweight Tag Champions, ELP and Hikuleo, so that's GOD. Now, before anything, make sure you go on my channel and watch the interview I did with ELP and Hikuleo, because we chatted all about World Tag League and everything about their preparations for Wrestle Kingdom. So that's just a plug there. But this match is going to be phenomenal. So they had probably one of the best tag matches of the year in their final match. And yes, this is the third, but I think it is the perfect tiebreaker. So the first match they had at World Tag League, ELP and Hikuleo won. Then Bishamon beat them on the final. And now this is sort of the middle ground. And I also think it is a way of phasing out the strong titles. So we've obviously seen the singles title be put into the triple threat, I think the Triple Crown title in AEW, and I think whoever wins this will now be cumulatively the IWGP and the Strong Tag title winners. Now, this match is going to be great. I don't think it's going to be the 40-minute match we saw at the final, because that was obviously the main bulk, but I think it's going to be a really good match. These two teams, as ELP said in the interview, have so much respect for each other. They know each other well. But what I think will have the advantage is GOD, because they are a newer team. They have got more surprises up their sleeve. And we still know that although they won, Goto has been riddled with injuries. So it will be interesting to see how this goes. I personally think, and this isn't just biased because I love them, because you know how much I love Bishamon as well, I think this might be a GOD win. Really, the two guys have been amazing as a team in the short time. ELP's bold charisma has allowed Hikuleo to shine. Hikuleo has allowed ELP to experiment with some more offense, using him as like a ladder, I guess. So yeah, it's going to be a great match. Don't sleep on it just because it's a rematch. We then have one of my favourite and highly anticipated matches. Again, a rematch that we've seen probably 1,000 times, but people will not get sick of it. It is Hiromu Takahashi, the IWGP Junior Champion, versus El Desperado for obviously the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Now, we have seen them fight and wrestle so many times. They went from hating each other to a unrequited love, to a love story, to respect. And each time they get in the ring, it's even more heightened with the drama. Now, while people might say, well, it makes no sense, why are we doing this rematch again? So if you remember when Hiromu first won the title at Wrestle Kingdom last year, it was in a four-way match against Ishimori, Master Wato and Desperado. Now, after winning the title, Hiromu wasn't happy. He said he wanted to beat each man who he faced individually on his way to matching Jushin Thunder Liger's title reign, or exceeding it to make history. He did that, so he beat Master Wato in the Dominion, so after Wato won the Best of Super Junior. He has beat Ishimori, and the last person on the list is Desperado. This match will undoubtedly have the crowds on their feet. These two were the two men who managed to have the Japanese crowds making noise at a time they weren't meant to, because that is how much people are invested in these two guys. Two of the most popular men on the roster, and it's not surprising to see why. They're both charismatic. Their styles match perfectly together. So you've got Hiromu's unpredictability and speed, And Desperado, similar to obviously his Suzuki-gun roots, is much more mat-based and methodical. It is going to be an amazing match, and I feel personally this might be the closing chapter for their story. After this, Despi can move on, Hiromu can move on, and they, I guess, will be at some sort of crossroads where, you know what, they can either just go apart from each other or stay together. I'm not saying we're going to suddenly have a Hiromu Despi tag team, but do you know what I mean? I personally think, as much as I love El Desperado, that it's going to be Hiromu win. He is on his way of beating Jushin Thunder Liger's record title reign, and I think he does deserve it. But yeah, it's probably going to be one of the most strongest matches, and for many, their most, like, not only most anticipated, but probably one of the best. So we're now on the top 3 matches. Now, I wouldn't say that they're all joint main events, but I think the prestige and the excitement and anticipation could probably put that slot for all 3 matches. But when you hear about the main event, you'll know why it's not. So we're going to start with the title, so triple threat for the new IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion. Now, as you all know, Ospreay, it was announced he's leaving to AEW, but don't let this shroud it because he's still working with New Japan till next month. So basically, during one of the previous shows, maybe it was in October, Ospreay stood in the middle of the ring with his US and United Kingdom title, which obviously is the same thing, and Moxley came out to challenge him. That sounds like a great idea. Then Mr. I'm head of the Bullet Club, David Finlay, came out, had a massive mallet and started beating up Moxley and Ospreay, and then destroying the very nice titles which I have held. So what does New Japan do? They create a brand new title. Something that is very much, I guess, similar to, well, I don't think it's similar to anything. It's really a combination of all of the belts in some way, and it's something that is going to be used worldwide and defended in companies and countries. That's the main thing you should focus on, especially if you think about Ospreay leaving. Keep that in mind. So this is going to be a very interesting match because it is very rare that heavyweight titles are more than one-on-one, especially at Wrestle Kingdom. But I think that this is going to work. You have the speed and power of Ospreay, the unpredictability of Jon Moxley, and David Finlay. Now, I have been a critic of David Finlay, but because I love him so much. Finlay, as you all know, was one of the reasons I got into New Japan to start with, his feud with Jay White after Jay returned from excursion. He is an amazing babyface, but I did think he needed a change. However, his change should not have been in the form of becoming Bullet Club leader. I still think he needs to show his identity to capture the crowd's attention, and I think this match will be perfect for that. It's going to be a great fight. I feel there might be some tables because Moxley's there, maybe some ladders, but it's going to be fast-paced. It's going to be interesting, I guess, to see who the crowds root for. Yes, they've always loved Ospreay, but with news of him leaving, could that change? Yes, Finlay is the head heel in this match because he's Bullet Club, but he's also someone that the Japanese crowds have watched grow from a young lion into this wrestler. Similarly, Moxley is a huge crowd favourite. He brings excitement to the matches, unexpected behaviour. And we've seen, even with his match with Okada, they are obsessed with his craziness. Like, I know I'm bringing up like the lunatic fringe from WWE, but that is still who Jon Moxley is. I personally, so at the start, I thought, oh, Finlay is going to win this. It makes most sense. However, with all of the discrepancies with Ospreay, so him not leaving until next month, the global nature of the title, I think Ospreay could still win this. So yeah, we're going to go in my heart and we're going to stick with Ospreay winning and becoming the inaugural IWGP Global Champion. We then have a special singles match. Now, Okada, who is a part of this match, was 10 out of 10 trying to vie for this to be the main event. Okada, you're not doing this to Naito again. But we basically have a rematch. So it is Kazuchika Okada versus Bryan Danielson. Now, their past meetings have been riddled with a lot of, I guess, not controversy, but basically Okada has been breaking the bones of Daniel Bryan. And even when he was still like, he had his broken orbital bone or something, Bryan was like, I want a match with Kazuchika Okada. And that is what we have here. So I think, is the score 2-0 if we're going in football terms, I think Daniel Bryan has the advantage over Okada. However, we are now in Okada's hometown. Not hometown, but you know what I mean. He feels very much at home at Wrestle Kingdom at the Tokyo Dome in one of these big spots. It's just a bit odd that it's not for a title, because we always know Okada title, Wrestle Kingdom. But they've changed it up. Daniel Bryan might need, not Daniel Bryan, I'm sorry. Bryan Danielson might need bubble wrap, because Okada has been on a very mean streak recently, whether it is with guys like him, what we class as the babies of New Japan. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I personally have Okada winning. I feel like, especially now Tanahashi has taken over and the whole rumours of Okada leaving, I really think that they're going to want to push Okada. And they're not going to have Okada lose like 3 times. It just doesn't work that way. So yeah, we've got Okada for that. I don't know what to expect from this, but hopefully it's going to be an amazing match. Something different for the crowds. And to get them excited for the main event. Now, to all you haters, like I'm not excited for IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Sanada facing Tetsuya Naito, I probably won't be able to change your mind, but I am so excited for this match. I have been watching the video promo packages that New Japan have been putting up, dating back all their history to the tryouts. I guess over a decade ago when Sanada and Naito both auditioned for New Japan, only Naito made it, and following the journeys from there. There is so much history between Sanada and Naito. Naito brought Sanada into New Japan as one of the parejas in LIJ. They have been a really tight-knit faction until Sanada decided he wasn't getting anywhere in that faction and left for just 5 guys. Now, the big thing here, and why I said that none of the other matches could be the main event, is that Naito has never main evented Wrestle Kingdom. So basically, when Naito held the IWGP Heavyweight title, Okada was his opponent and they were meant to be the main event, as is written, I guess, in the unwritten rules of New Japan. However, that was the year that Tanahashi and Nakamura faced each other for the IC title. They had a fan poll and Naito and Okada got demoted to semi-main event. So, Naito's dream has been to main event and to challenge for the title, and this has been his chance. He even joked, he said, I don't care about the title, like if I win it, whatever, I just want a main event. And that's another thing to think about going through. Naito has always been blasé, and his sort of, I just don't really care about the title, is something that really epitomizes who Naito is. On the other hand, while Sanada is champion and he's with just 5 guys, he has kept this similarly tranquilo edge about him. And some people haven't enjoyed that. They thought leading up to this feud, he should have more passion. He should have more energy. I'm using that meme, that TikTok meme. But that he needed something new to be champion, to bring the title back into the forefront and to make himself shine as a star. I personally know Sanada and I've watched him for years and I like what he's doing. The issues with his reign has not been Sanada, but has been the booking, has been his opponents, and the lack of his, I guess they've not really allowed him to shine as the wrestler he is. But I really think that Sanada and Naito are going to bring it. They are going to have the crowd split in the middle. They know each other so well, so they're going to be countering. You have 2 guys with very similar styles. So yes, they both use power and strength, but they're also very athletic, like moonsault, stardust press. They will throw everything into this match and it's just going to make it amazing. Now, as much as I love Sanada, I feel that this is Naito's time. If Naito doesn't win, I will be extremely shocked because I think that after the past few years of New Japan and there's been ups and downs, they're going to want to end Wrestle Kingdom on a high. And what else to end it with a Los Ingobernables de Japón roll call. So yeah, I think that as much as international fans might not be as excited, this match really has the potential to steal the show. Not just because of wrestling, but because of the storytelling. Now, I have done a whistle-stop tour of this card. It is very long, like average Wrestle Kingdoms are normally about 4 hours, and that's not even including the pre-show Rambo. So I've given you my predictions, so now it's your turn to let me know your thoughts. We are 2 days away from the show, so which matches are you looking forward to? List me all of your predictions. what do you think is going to happen going forward? Like, is Ospreay going to still be balancing his time with AEW and New Japan? Is Okada going to go back to the top of the company? Are we going to see people come and go? Remember, we've got New Year's Dash, which is always full of so many surprises. So let me know your thoughts, so obviously in the comments, on social media at wrestling_chat. And while you're there, hit follow, and on my YouTube channel, hit subscribe. Because like I said, we've got this preview. As soon as the show happens on January the 4th, I'll be out with a review, and I will be closely following any big news happening. So yeah, once again, hopefully you guys had an amazing Christmas and New Year. Let's enjoy Wrestle Kingdom together, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!